Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Never said the trip because Allah got you, even hot dudes. My name Moosa Alameen. You know, before I came into Islam, I was in this gang, feel me? You know, alhamdulillah, I only fear Allah, so I don't fear all that other stuff no more. I was with the hype boys, you feel me? Then I ended up leaving that alone because I was trying to get away from, you know, the evil of what my hands was putting before me, dealing with what I was putting myself into. So, you know, I seen how serious that situation was getting. So honestly, I wasn't even trying to like go straight to God. I was just trying to get away from the devil. And I guess that's what got me to God. You know, Allah was trying to get away from, you know, Shaitan's works. You feel me? He was just trying to, you know, have me in something that I wasn't spiritually a part of. You know, I was physically trying to be a something because I thought that was cool, you know, but then my spirit was like, that ain't cool for you, because when everything hit the fan and when things got serious, my soul's like, see, you don't want to have nothing to do with that. So that's why, you know, Allah opened up a way for me. He ended up getting me in contact with my pops, my father. I never really had no good relationship with him like that, but at that time, Allah, He'd change your heart. So He softened both our hearts, had us both on a, you know, humble tip. I wanted to get, you know, around my dad at that time because I felt like I didn't have nobody. Dealing with trying to be in a gang and stuff, I was like, man, nah, I'm gonna leave this alone because they about to just get me killed. So I ended up leaving that alone. I ended up going to Texas, you know, trying to finish my junior year out there. I ended up finishing that, and then before I got into my senior year, I was around this brother named Yaya, and that was a friend of my father's. And they've been friends for like over 20 years at the time. So, and this was like back in 2008 when I met him. So, you know, and that was the same year I took my Shahada. But basically, he was living like a real like life, like a Sahaba for real. Like he really was living really gutted. Like he was living in his car, and his life is straight halal. Like he didn't do nothing, no drug, he didn't drink, smoke, or nothing. Like didn't even listen to music. I was so bored riding with him. You know, but the brother was, you know, mashallah, he was on point. He showed me like how real Sahaba really had to live, like trying to hold on to his deen. Like I was like, dang, so that's how tough it is. But that inspired me to want to get involved with what he believed in, because I ain't never see a Christian go that hard about their belief doing that bad. I ain't see a Christian like that doing that bad, going that hard about what they believe. So I seen a Muslim like that. When he told me, well, I was working for him. He ended up hiring me. I was working for him. And one thing that stuck out to me is that I feel like he paid me more than what I even deserved. You feel me? You know, when I was working for him, I feel like he paid me more than what I deserved. I was like, hold on, like, a non-Muslim wouldn't have paid me this much. They'd have been like, feel me? Like, here you go, and try to do me like dirty under the table type thing. Because it was under the table. He didn't have to, like, you know, keep no tabs or hours. He could have just been like, all right, just here you go, man. You can work 10 hours, but, you know, take this little $5. You know, but he paid me generously. And he followed that hadith. He paid me before the sweat dried on my head. You know, I was still in the middle of working, and he paid me before I was even done. I was like,
there's a lot of people that don't follow that hadith.
Yeah, you know, he was following everything to the T, and I was like, man, when I see all this new stuff now, I'll be like, subhanAllah. But back to the story. So, so basically, he had to go pray. You know, at the end of it, while we was working, he had to go pray, and then he asked me, he was like, you want to go home, or do you want to, you know, let me go pray real quick? You know, me, internally, I always respected prayer, you know? Even though I never was a person who prayed, I always respected it, you know? So I was like, man, no, your prayers are more important, you know? So we go to the masjid, and then I see all these shoes outside the masjid. I thought it was a building owned by a whole bunch of Chinese people or some Japanese people or some whole bunch of shoes. I'm like, man, what we in Chinatown? So, you know, I was like, I felt, man, I'm going to say this right now, just because, you know, it's a part of history. I was so embarrassed to go in there because my socks was black. but originally they was white. You know what I'm saying? You know, I wasn't living no voodoo life at that time. I wasn't living a voodoo life at the time. You feel me? So I was funny about that. So then, mashallah, I ended up coming in there, and then it was a Jamaat there. Like, I was just so, you feel me? It was like Allah just planned everything on his own. Like, you know, it was a group of brothers there, and, you know, they just huddled up to me after they prayed the night prayer, Isha prayer. They just huddled up to me like I was just like something hecka important or special with my sneaky feet. I was like, man, what's so important about me? Y'all all huddled around this stinky funk? I'm like, you feel me? That's how I was thinking at the time. But they looking at something else. They was looking beyond all that. They was looking at, nah, brother, like, you know, you just a diamond in the rough right now. We just came to rub you off. So they asked me some questions, you know, some stuff that I already kind of believe, like predestination of faith, the angels, heaven and hell. You know, first it was God, you know, Allah. You know, I'm like, yeah, of course. You know, you believe in the prophets. I'm like, yeah, I believe in all that. You know, and then that's when I got that question. It was like, you know, say, so you ready? Say the Shahada, you know. So that I said it because, you know, they asked me everything I already believed. So it just, I was like, I'm already rolling that way. Might as well say it. So I said my Shahada. After that, they, you know, brother gave me clothes off their back. That was the first time that ever happened to me. You know, literally just, you know. So I was really thankful after that, man. I was, you know, this is like my first jihad was trying to get to the masjid. And I was lost. I was walking on the road for like 2 miles, walking through grass. You know, I had to get past an old church. And it was on the side of this road on the freeway. I finally found it. I was just hitting it every day, just going there and just, you know, meeting with the brothers and, you know, trying to learn, you know, the little letters of the Arabic, you know, just. And now, alhamdulillah, I know a couple surahs, you know. It's like, you know, I need to know more, but.
Bust one for us one time, inshallah.
Inshallah. What about that Akato? You think I should bust that one?
You busting.
Inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhaakumu takathur hatta zurtumul maqabir. كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لا تعلمون علم اليقين لا ترون الجحيم ثم لتسألون يومئذ عن النعيم. Woe to those who chase after the, you know, these worldly, you know, these worldly things that they gather, you know, the money, the wealth, the abundance, and then, you know, look at the grave. They don't take none of that with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's basically what that surah is about. You know, people chasing after the worldly, you know, the worldly things, the materialistic things, whether it's money, you know, cars, houses. You know, it's like, man, there's things I even ask a lot for. Forgive the next person. I could testify this myself. You know, those things I asked a lot for and I got it. And I was like, now what? I asked him for something else. He gave it to me. I was like, now what? I asked him for something else again. And he said, I was like, now what? So it's like, this life, it's like you'll never be fully satisfied. So the only thing that really truly made me happy, it was a time when I didn't have nothing. When Allah didn't give me all those things that I asked for. It was when I didn't have none of that stuff. All I had was a couple of clothes I had, an energy, and an urge to get to the masjid, just to worship Allah. And I was just happy just like that. I was, feel me, naturally smiling, didn't do, you know, a lot of things that, you know, I be doing now just to, you know, try to relax and stuff, you know. At that time I was purely, you know, set and strong. It was like, because all I had was Allah. Now it's like I'm working and stuff, and I battle with my ego now. So it's like at the time when you don't have nothing and you only have Allah, sometimes that's the best time, you know?
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen.
Sometimes that's the best time. So that's the end of my story, you know. That's how I came into Islam, and inshallah, I plan on to, you know, die in Islam.
Inshallah. May Allah keep you on the firmly grounded on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. Ameen. All of us. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my ikhwan.
Assalamu brother. Hey, it was good seeing you, brother. This is a cool brother right here.
Alhamdulillah.
Kareem.
Alhamdulillah.
Hey, it's good seeing you, Ak.
Man.
Miss you, brother.
I miss you too, brother.
Yeah.
May Allah give us all Jannah and let us enter